Video recording. Hello, welcome to M3 Movies. I'm Jack, and this is the first essay in a series of essays in which Brian and I will talk about movies that we just really like. That's it. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun. You've already seen the title, so I'm just gonna get into it. Also, my notes, they're right up here. So if it looks like I'm definitely talking just right on up there, it's because I am. So deal with it. Oh my god, shut up! My cat is out there. Say hello to Meatball! The Double is a very weird, very quirky, very stylistic dark comedy written and directed by IT Crowd alum Richard Ayoade that's based off of Fyodor Dostoevsky's... Nope. Fyodor Dostoevsky. That's based off of Fyodor Dostoevsky's novel of the same name. That was bad. I'm gonna go with it. The simple gist of the plot, just because I don't want to get into a 10-minute spiel going through note for note the breakdown of the story, though I definitely could, is meek mild man gets scared of his doppelganger. Everything go bad. I didn't write to do the accent in there, but I did it anyway. Long story short, but a little bit longer than that just was. Jesse Eisenberg plays James Simon and Simon James, who both kind of look like Lex Luthor or Mark Zuckerberg. Simon, the protagonist, is shy and cowardly, whereas James is the polar opposite. After some shuffling with James's love interest, Hannah, played by Maya Wasikowska, played by Maya Wasikowska, a rivalry is formed between the two, and, everything gets really weird. Spoiler time, by the way. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Suicides are witnessed, other doppelgangers appear where they shouldn't, mothers die, suicides are attempted, injuries that happen to Simon or James happen to James or Simon too. Simon cuffs James to a bed and jumps from a building in just a way that he'll survive and get the help he needs, but James won't and will be left to die alone in his apartment. It's great. Watch it, maybe. Now let's get into it. I first want to touch on Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of Simon James and James Simon, the protagonist and antagonist of the film, respectively. Listen, Eisenberg has had some snafus in his career. Batman v Superman. Batman v Superman. Justice League. Maybe it's just Lex Luthor. But Eisenberg as James and Simon is absolutely goddamn glorious. Both characters are intricately crafted to be the polar opposite of each other, the work of both Eisenberg and Ayoade, both swinging to either end of their morality spectrum without being so wildly to one side that they become unbelievable. The nuance required to pull off the two while keeping some form of dynamic is absolutely stunning, and the ease with which Eisenberg pulls it off is widely cool. Nothing highlights the magnitude of his performance quite like this clip of Ayoade himself.
What's so good about Jesse is that he's able to combine this complete precision of timing, because with the motion control and the split screen, the way it works is that you record one performance and then he has to wear an earpiece into which the selected take is played of that first performance and then act against that and match eye lines and play it in the precise same rhythm as he did before. And that's almost against all of the instincts of an actor to be in the moment and feel that you're responding naturally, but he's able to meet the technical demands while being emotionally engaged, and that's very rare, I feel.
How one can make two characters so three-dimensional while wearing the same costume, working with no one but himself, and still managing to disappear into the characters entirely is, maybe, dare I say, the highlight of his career. Also notable is the film's art department, which, let's be honest, is what makes this movie and not some wannabe quirky indie film. Quick shout out before I get into the meat of this segment, David Crank is who Ayoade attributes the dystopian kind of broken feel of the movie with. And if he's good enough for a shout out from the man himself, he's good enough for a shout out from me too. Good job, man! Every technical aspect plays into the grandeur of this film. The the low-key lighting allowing for spotlight-esque lights to shine on the protagonist adds a level of intimacy, as though the audience is in a small black box theater watching everything unfold. The notable tetratic color scheme splashed with some muted colors, creating a unique and bold look that allows for certain, more important colors to be more vibrant than others. The set pieces are empty and drab, yet crowded with fantastic detail that give the world its own atmosphere, one that is completely believable, but completely different from our own. Every filmic aspect of this movie is on point and creates a viewing experience unlike anything modern cinema presents to audiences. Do you notice how it's getting darker as I'm filming this? Because it's taking that long. It's taking forever. As a little fun side fact for you, side note, as a fun little side note, the cinematographer on this movie was also the cinematographer on Paddington 1 and Paddington 2. His name is Eric Wilson. Also slightly technical, but a bit more specific, I want to take some time to talk about the score. Because holy hell. It's one of the most entrancing, beautiful, unique scores I think I've ever heard. I wholeheartedly suggest you go ahead and check it out for your own and listen to it all the way through. It's deep and guttural, while gentle and tender, all of which still helping contribute to the cold atmosphere of the double. Andrew Hewitt's work is something of genius, and well worth the listen. Yeah! Before talking about my final point, I do want to take a second to bring to attention some criticism. Nothing's perfect, and the best way to grow from and understand art is through honest, positive criticism. To be perfectly frank, the criticism I have for the double is really specific. I have a hard time personally finding anything wrong with it, though if you ask my mom, she'd have a very different opinion. Sorry, Mom, this is not your movie. I showed it to you. I shouldn't have showed it to you. The thing I dislike most in this film comes in the form of this scene in which Simon finally reaches his breaking point.
Sir, this man is a fraud. I think maybe he needs some help. He's gone a little crazy. No. No, sir, this cannot stand. No. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. No. No, sir. He stole my face. Look at me! Look at me! Look at him! He stole my face!
You need to leave!
No! You do! Get off of me!
Stanley! Give Rudolph his arm back!
Stay back! No. Stay away from me! No, I need to see the Colonel.
We all love you.
I need to see the Colonel. The Colonel will understand. Please, where is the Colonel?
You need help.
No, I don't need help.
What's the problem, Stanley?
Hey! You fuckers! You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with, you fuckers. You fucking fucks. I am a person. Stay back! Stay back, you fucks! You fucking fuckers! I am a person! I exist!
Mild, meek-mannered Simon is finally exploding and threatening everyone around him. This is, without a doubt, the point in the film that carries us into the emotional core of the whole thing, as well as what segues us from build-up to release. And yet it's played off with a bizarre humor that feels out of place. Simon swings around a prosthetic arm while yelling,
"You fucking fucks!"
Quite frankly, the whole thing feels inappropriately comedic. In all honesty, though, it's an easy fix. I honestly believe you could cut from X to Y and still have the same effect, if not stronger. And that's it. The film is so strong to me that it's frankly hard to find anything major really to fix. Branching away from there, I just want to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Richard Ayoade himself. I'd like to start off with this bit of the essay by just saying I may or may not have been a wee bit biased going into this movie, as Ayoade is easily one of the funniest and smartest people working in film/television today. If you haven't seen the IT Crowd, do yourself a favor and check it out, because it's, as the Brits would say, bloody fantastic. And to think he went from his role in that show,
Who are you?
to directing this,
You fucking fucks.
blows my little baby brain. And yet he did. And watching him talk about directing the double has been the most fascinating part of my research for this essay, for no reason at all other than how clear it is that this film is something Ayoade is passionate about. And his passion shows in the final product. It's something so beautifully unique and, I would imagine, true to his vision. And while it's quirky and off-kilter, it never feels like it's trying too hard to be, which is a tricky line to toe. The double is fresh and interesting, given life by Ayoade's distinct style, which never manages to supersede substance despite how prevalent it is. That's not to mention, and hang on with me here because things could get a little bit rocky, the theories. Oh my god. the theories. Now, everything I mention from here on, I'm fairly certain hasn't actually been confirmed, but it helps me personally to make sense of a pretty out there story. So get this, and this is, completely off topic, but there's a theory floating around out there that Simon has schizophrenia. Or to be more precise, monothematic delusion, which technically isn't a type of schizophrenia as much as it is a disorder that can occur within the context of schizophrenia, dementia, or other mental illnesses. So says Wikipedia. The specific type I'll be looking at is called, fittingly, subjective double syndrome, which essentially means the person believes there's a doppelganger of themselves. Now, if this is the case, I'd venture as far as to say the symptoms of the syndrome was fiddled with some, as the concept of seeing doppelgangers as in other people is presented, and the security guard / doctor that Simon has issues with, and isn't necessarily actually a thing that happens. I'd like to real quick also state that I have absolutely no clue about anything about psychology or psychological issues, and most of what I'm theorizing here is based off of forums. So anyways, the idea is that Simon is not mentally stable from the get-go, and the possibility of suicide or self-harm because of said mental disorder was always a possibility. But Ayoade is showing the audience what's in Simon's head, which is awesome to me. According to schizophrenia.com, which I would assume is the home of all things schizophrenia, the rate of attempted suicide in men with schizophrenia is about 60%. The concept of using physical, animate objects to show how schizophrenia may affect certain people is kind of incredible, and can help to show just what drives certain schizophrenic cases to that point. Like, for instance, the way Ayoade purposefully never shows the sky, so the audience can feel boxed in. Or the immense feeling of not belonging, highlighted by the constant glares and harsh looks the world gives Simon. The feeling of unwinding insanity as he's eventually told he just doesn't exist. It's beautifully executed, and honestly, even if the theory's wrong, it still portrays a feeling of insanity incredibly well. That's it for the first essay in the series. It was a little bit more disorganized than I expected, but if you like this kind of rant style, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And if you dig our podcasts, you can now check them out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and many more. You can check that out easily by going to anchor.fm/m3movies and finding us there. And you can do the thing and find the stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm Jack from M3 Movies. I love your stupid face. Bye-bye.